what are some of the marketing campaigns a restaurant could activate and track today?
Okay, in today, the easiest thing is loyalty. So loyalty programs, knowing who your customers are and how often they're coming in and rewarding them. So loyalty is one of the first things that you could do. Facebook advertising and social media advertising, like what you do, Mark, is another thing that's very easy. It's cost effective, and you can see the results instantly. It's not like, and we can target which customers we're looking for. Facebook and those kind of online companies are so different to what we had 15 years ago with a newspaper, where you go, yeah, there's 110,000 distribution. Whereas Facebook now, you can go, yep, I want men between the ages of 18 and 25, and they live in this particular area, and they spend this much money, and they like these kind of things. You can actually really nail down who your customers are now and get a message directly to those people. And that's a beautiful thing now of what we can do with social media advertising. Other things like promotions, your Valentine's Day, or I think, where are we now? We've got Father's Day coming up in September. We've got Halloween coming up. These are promotions that you can advise, let your customers know and let your community know, I'm doing something special for these particular days. And videos are another really good way of promoting business. So I'm saying, this is what's going on. We're making this gin cocktail. We've got this fantastic cocktail of the month, or how we make this beautiful meal. These are ways that we can promote the business. So very, very popular with videos. Third-party apps are another really popular way. What I would be looking with the third-party apps, like your AI menus and delivery apps like Uber Eats and DoorDash, which is really coming up on now, is utilizing those platforms. They're spending a lot of money with promoting, especially Uber Eats now. They've got the Wiggles. I've seen their latest series of commercials. Utilize those platforms and try and convert those customers that use that platform to your own, so that they become on your own email database and you approach them. So don't just have that they constantly, let those customers know that you would prefer them coming directly to you. So, right, but use their services, you're paying for it, and it's a good way to onboard them as your own customer then, for, not a lot of cost.
I mean, I gotta agree with you. Even when we speak to a third party, a lot of business owners or restaurant owners, they do have that understanding. If someone is ordering from a third party app, it's not good for them, and they feel like they're the victim and so on. I mean, I completely understand and feel for when they feel like they are in that situation. But then if we look at the big boys like McDonald's and Domino's and so on, these people that have billions of dollars to invest in their marketing and advertising to push people to order direct from them and not having to be on those third-party apps. But guess what? They are on those third-party apps. One is because they understand people buy based on different situations. They also know that their marketing and branding counts on two main things in the advertising and the marketing world, and they are mental availability and physical availability. So if you are not on top of the customer mind, you're out of the picture. If you're not physically available, and physically doesn't mean like something that I can touch and feel, but physically now it's all digital and physical. So if someone is not on the third party app, then all of a sudden you got someone to try someone else's food, and they might like it, and all of a sudden they might get used to go and dine in person at that restaurant or at that place, because all of a sudden they were on Uber Eats, you weren't, and that's one thing. And the other thing is, the whole reason they enter those third-party apps, it's because they're opening up for new markets. So and it's, instead of opening up a new location or a pop-up which could cost thousands of dollars, all of a sudden you could just turn on an app and you've opened up a new market. Look, this is we could talk about this for days and days. But let's move on.
I think coming down to the third-party apps is, you need to look, an owner needs to look at it as a marketing strategy. right? That's really
Exactly.
where it needs to come in. And that's where spending that money comes out of your marketing budget, not out of, you know, your operational budget. And it's how you
Exactly.
look at it. So I think a lot of people are thinking, oh my God, I'm spending 30% or however what percentage is. And it's like, you know, that money is just, I'm losing that money. And it's rather than looking at, it is a marketing strategy. It is a way to reach new customers. And if you
Yes,
look at it in that way, you can then convert them over to that you never had access to those customers before.
that's right.
So that's the way to look at it with
And
those
if
third-party
you're a
apps.
national brand, you're probably more likely not to increase your prices on the third party apps. But if
Yeah.
you're a small place, most places today, they're increasing their prices on the system, so it is somehow profitable, you know. And they're doing that. So why can't you do that and say, you know what, we've opened up to a new market. Some of those people, they will never come and dine in here. Let's work out a way that becomes profitable for us. And to be honest, you know what, I don't care how many apps, how much money you spend on your own apps, how much money you spend on your own marketing, you will never convert 100% of those audiences to come over to you. It's not
Yeah.
going to happen. You
Yeah.
know, it's
Well,
people.
you've got the brand alliance, right? So you're aligning with an Uber Eats or a DoorDash. They're a big platform. They've got their own brand, and to be connected with those shows that you have met that standard, because they wouldn't have people, you know, businesses that don't meet a certain standard. So, you know, it already creates trust in the consumer's, you know, mind of going, well, if they're on that platform, they must be good.
That's right. So and you know, at the end of the day, it comes down to ultra convenience. It's a marketplace. People every time they feel like something, they open up that magic app and they order what they feel like today. But if they download your app, you only have just one cuisine, one thing, and there's not much they can do on there other than ordering your food. So look, I'm pretty sure this topic has been spoken about and discussed in so many different ways, but it's still important to talk about that today, because you never know. Some people still don't get why they should be on those third-party apps.